And now we're interviewing the Angels in Orange all year round, and this time is no different, as the Angels of United Hatzalah treated the victims of the Hamas massacre and are doing everything in their power to help with everything they can. And we're now joined by United Hatzalah founder and president, Eli Beer. Eli, thank you so much for joining us today. How are you feeling these days, and what does a day in your life look like really since October 7?
I am feeling terrible. My life changed literally. I'm not the same. I'm not the same man as October 6th. My life literally changed, and I think everyone's life changed. And we feel something different. We feel like a big load of sadness fell on all of us, and it's very hard to cope with it. Very, very hard. And when people ask me, how are you? What am I going to say? Like, you ask me a question. I think if I ask you the same question, you'll have the same answer. And I have more because I seen terrible, terrible, terrible things. I hear terrible things all day. And I'm sure you too, because you're interviewing people. And I don't know, I feel bad for you when you go back home and your kids ask you, how are you?
Yes, of course, Eli, you've seen it all really firsthand. Yesterday, you met with President Biden along with Secretary of State Antony Blinken, along with more doctors and first responders. How did the meeting go? What did you tell them, Eli? What did you hear from the Americans yourself over there?
Well, I was blown away from the amount of empathy and love that the American people, and especially the President and Secretary of State, showed us during this meeting. This was an hour and almost an hour and a half meeting that went on and on with a selected small group that the President went to each one-on-one and talked to, not once, but twice, and sometimes 3 times. And the President did not want to leave us. And it was like they were rushing after a while. The President saying, we have a whole conference of journalists waiting and everything. And he said, I want to hear more stories. I want to see what these people need. I want to hear more. And he was going on and asking me personally about United Hatzalah. I told the President what's our focus on, 90-second response. United Hatzalah is all about getting there fast. And you could see more than ever now the importance of United Hatzalah. To have a fast response is for babies choking, for someone having a heart attack, or someone falling into a pool, a child falling into a pool, and you need to rescue that child. You have 90 seconds to save them. But more than ever, you can see now how you need first response, immediate response for terrorism and war acts against human beings, against citizens. The fact that we had hundreds of volunteers who live in these communities. I told the President we are like Uber, but for free, and we save lives. He got it. I said we have a fast response because we have volunteers. You don't have to pay them. All you have to do is let them know something is happening nearby, and they jump out of bed, they jump out of synagogue, and even out of mosque, wherever they are. If they are a volunteer of United Hatzalah, we'll track them if they're close to someone that needs help. And that's what happened the day of October 7th. The terrible, terrible day that I will never forget in my life, where we found ourselves in front of a Holocaust in Israel, a Holocaust in Israel. More and more you talk about people, you talk to people, you really realize that this was a massacre that meant to be a Holocaust. These Nazi, ISIS, Hamas people were looking to kill every human being in Israel, every animal in Israel. They went around shooting mothers in front of the kids, shooting children in front of their mothers, husbands, wives, parents, grandparents. And we actually found ourselves in a situation where all of a sudden, we see hundreds and hundreds of people who are murdered. What do you do? How do you do triage to so many people? And especially, how do you do triage when you have missiles on your head and you have shooting on your head? But I was very, very proud of all of those incredible volunteers who put their life in danger and went in under fire and they saved many, many people. United Hatzalah volunteers saved a lot of people. I just told the president this whole thing, and the president just was crying. I saw him crying, taking a tissue and wiping his tears. And it was sincere. It was sincere. It was a person who really cares about these kind of things. And he was telling me that he told me his son and his wife died in a car accident, and his other son died in a war. And he said that his pain was so hurtful. His pain was so hard. And now he feels the same pain looking at us and looking at Israel. And he said the pain that he had when he lost his kids is the same pain he has now. And that was unbelievable. I was blown away from that. And he said to me that we came here to support the people and to give to uplift. I told him he uplifted the Israelis, their spirits. He uplifted the Jewish people. I don't care who the president is. The president coming to Israel during a war, putting his life in danger, to come here to give chizuk, to give strength to the people, is unbelievable. And I really think, as an American, I'm first of all a Jew, I'm second of all Israeli, and an American. I'm so proud. And combined with all that, wearing this orange vest, it's terrible.
Eli, it was an honor listening to you, and you should definitely really, really be proud. We're adding the QR code of United Hatzalah during the whole interview on our screen. 7,000 volunteers from diverse background, which is really incredibly inspirational. Eli, please stay safe.
Thank you for having me, and please support United Hatzalah. You have that Q card, the Q code. Just click on it and support buying medical supplies for our volunteers.
Thank you very much, Eli. Toda rabba.
Toda rabba.